So Greenland has told Trump to go F himself. I don't know if you guys saw this. This came out a couple days ago. I've been meaning to get to it. But you know how Trump says that we need Greenland basically for two reasons. For its strategic military purposes, you know, where it is in the world. So we need it for military bases. Of course, we already have a military base there, and they're a NATO ally. And if we wanted to put more bases up there for whatever reasons, I'm sure they would accommodate us. They benefit greatly by the presence of our military base. But anyways, that's what he says. Makes absolutely no sense because we don't need to threaten them. We don't need to take them over, invade Greenland in order to have a greater military presence in Greenland. But he also says that we need to take it over for the, the rare earth minerals and things like that so that we can mine and benefit from the resources. Which also, we don't need to take them over and invade their sovereign territory in order to benefit from the natural resources they have. I'm sure that we could come to a deal with them where we could extract those minerals and both countries can benefit. But no, Donald Trump is an authoritarian thug who likes to throw his weight around, and he likes to bully people. And he also likes the attention it brings him. But, Denmark, Greenland is a territory of Denmark. They haven't been playing his game. At every turn, they have basically told Trump to go F himself in a very diplomatic and professional way, of course. And they've done so again because they have just signed a minerals deal with a European interest, which basically tells Trump, F you, Trump. Let me read a little of this from Newsweek. Greenland has allowed a Danish-French consortium to mine a rock which is key to the production of aluminum. The permit granted to Greenland anorthosite mining, GAM, to extract anorthosite follows interest in the Arctic territory from U.S. President and convicted felon Donald Trump in acquiring the autonomous island, which is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. GAM, which is backed by a French company, and was granted a 30-year permit. So it doesn't sound to me like Denmark has any interest in divesting themselves of Greenland, of selling Greenland, or otherwise giving over Greenland to the United States if they're signing 30-year deals with this consortium from Europe. Jasper, I'm going to destroy this poor bastard's name. Jesper Wheelang Zethwin, whatever, associate professor of Aalborg University in Denmark, told Newsweek Trump's interest in Greenland's resources is likely to be more in securing long-term investment objects, which is difficult under current Greenlandic legislation. I hate to take issue with you, Professor, but I'm going to. Where you say that Trump's interest in Greenland's resources is likely to be more in securing long-term investment projects, Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about the long-term. He doesn't think about the long-term. Do you really think that he cares about any of these things that he says he cares about? He doesn't care about the military strategic importance of Greenland. He doesn't care about long-term deals for mineral rights or anything like that. He doesn't think past today. This guy doesn't think long-term. He doesn't give a shit. And by the way, once he leaves office, if he ever does, he doesn't give a fuck what happens to the United States. He doesn't care about anything or anyone other than himself. So the idea that he has some strategic long-term interest, I'm sorry, Professor, but he doesn't. He just doesn't. You're still trying, this is a mistake that a lot of people make. They still try to put this man, to understand him as a normal person. Because none of, they look at this and go, what is this lunatic doing? He's threatening, he wants Greenland. Oh, well, he must be interested in a long term. No, stop trying to make sense of this guy. You're not going to do it. You can't. This is not a normal person with a normal functioning brain. This man is a psycho, okay? Anyway, I'll read a little more here. Greenland's mineral resources minister Naja, oh man with these names, I'm not even going to bother, said the U.S. interest in the island has not resulted in any investment, and the deal signals that business dialogue with European partners was progressing more quickly. So with all of Donald Trump's bluster and his threats, he's had no deals with Greenland. Nothing. Nothing's going on. All he's doing is threatening and being an ass, being an authoritarian thug, and making enemies, or at least adversaries of our, up to this point, countries that had been our very close allies. He's destroying those relationships. And what did he get for the United States as a result of all of this? Nothing. And with respect to Greenland, what he has done is forced them to make different kinds of deals with other countries and say, F you, United States, we're not dealing with you. So good job. Good job, America. Way to go. Good job electing this guy. Okay, before I go, one other thing. Meant to get to this last week also. It's been a busy week for me. Trump administration asks Supreme Court to keep DOGE records secret. Now, the latest news about DOGE and Elon Musk over the last week has been that this guy has been a complete disaster. Even a lot of MAGA people are waking up to the fact that this guy has been a complete and utter disaster. I saw, Steve Bannon hates Elon Musk, and he was raising, I saw a clip of him. I couldn't stomach to watch, Steve Bannon on a consistent basis. But I saw a clip from him the other day where he had a guest on there talking about DOGE and Elon Musk, and he's saying the same thing that I've been saying from, for months now. Where's all the fraud? And this goes to Trump too. And this is why this also pisses me off, that Elon Musk has been the singular face of DOGE and everything that DOGE is doing. And Trump seems to be allowed to distance himself from all of this. We don't tie Trump directly to all that. The reason Elon Musk is on his way out, he's leaving, he's going back to SpaceX, and he's going to go back to continuing to destroy Twitter and Tesla and all that, after he's completely destroyed his company by getting involved with Donald Trump. When are people going to learn? It doesn't go well for you when you get involved with Donald Trump. It goes well for Trump, but you're going to destroy yourself getting too close to this guy. So many people have failed to learn this lesson. Elon Musk didn't learn it, and now he's really made a mess of things. Anyway, so that's been the big news, him leaving, because of what a disaster he is. He's hated. Nobody likes this guy, not even MAGA, but Trump has been allowed to get a free pass on all of this. We should have been, because we keep talking about Musk and DOGE. No. It's not Musk cutting all this stuff. It's not DOGE cutting all this stuff. It's Donald Trump. The buck stops with him. None of that would be happening but for Donald Trump. Who picked Musk and who allowed Musk to do all that stuff? It's Trump. But yet people didn't consistently tie Trump to Musk and Trump to DOGE. And so Musk was allowed to be the public face of all those things that are so unpopular, while Trump was able to distance himself from it. Anyway, Bannon. So, of course, Bannon will never say anything negative about Trump, who's ultimately responsible for all this. But Bannon was going after Musk, saying, where's the fraud? Point that I've raised many times, because they always say, and Trump has said it many times, we've discovered so much waste, fraud, and abuse. Okay, fraud is a crime. If you actually found fraud, then where are the prosecutions? Where are the perp walks of the people who committed fraud? Where are they? Not a single person. For all the fraud that Donald Trump says they have uncovered, not a single person has been arrested for fraud, because they haven't found any. Anyway, back to this article. This is from the Politico. The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to block a court-ordered inquiry into the authority of the Department of Government Efficiency. The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to block. Why do they repeat themselves in this thing? The Justice Department filed an emergency appeal Wednesday, urging the High Court to put on hold a judge's orders, giving a watchdog group access to documents detailing firings, grant terminations, and other actions proposed by the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, which was overseen by Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk. Solicitor General John Sauer is also asking the Supreme Court to block a deposition of the obscure official the Trump administration has identified as the leader of the budget-cutting drive, DOGE Administrator Amy Gleason. Now, a couple things. So first, they're trying to keep all of this a secret. Trump has constantly, over the last several months, said that this is the most transparent administration in history. Of course, we all know that whatever Donald Trump says, the exact opposite is true. And that applies to virtually everything. Whatever he says, just assume the exact opposite, and that is likely to be the truth. And that is the case when he talks about the transparency of his administration. And here he is, trying to keep the work of DOGE, all the crap that they're doing, all their records, everything, trying to keep it secret. The American people don't have a right to know about any of it. And so he runs to the Supreme Court. He's already been ruled against. And so he's trying to get the judge's order blocked. He runs immediately to the Supreme Court. He's going to lose there too. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not going to predict on this one. There are some issues that are so clearly Trump is in the wrong that I might go out on a limb and predict what this Supreme Court is going to do, but I'm not going to do this one. Who the hell knows? He should lose. He definitely should lose. Will he? I don't know. He lost at the lower court. He probably, almost certainly lose at the appellate court, which is why he runs to the only court that might actually side with him, and that is, of course, the Supreme Court. But that's what he's doing. He's trying to keep all of that secret. And what they're really worried about is this deposition by this Amy Gleason. That's why they're going immediately to the Supreme Court. They want to stop this deposition because this woman is just the figurehead, okay? And what she could say in her deposition can prove that everything else that the Trump administration has been saying under oath to the court about what DOGE is doing, what Elon Musk has been doing, all of that is a lie. And it can expose a whole lot of Trump regime officials to perjury because they are lying to the courts about DOGE, about what Musk is doing. They're telling everyone, they're saying, depending upon the audience, they say two different things, even as to who's in charge of this thing. Okay? Trump is constantly saying that Elon Musk is the head of DOGE. He said it 1,000,000 times. Right? There's no doubt about Elon Musk being the head of DOGE. Every friggin' article you read about any of this says Musk is the head of DOGE because that's what Trump has said. And I mean, we had Elon Musk in the Oval Office with Donald Trump sitting there like a fool, slumped over behind the desk there, while Elon Musk is holding court with his kid on his shoulders, talking about how he's running the government. Okay? He's in charge. Yet, to keep Elon Musk from having to testify in court and give depositions about what he's doing, they tell the court, oh no, Elon Musk has nothing to do with DOGE. He's not the head of DOGE. It's this Amy Gleason woman is the DOGE administrator. So now the parties challenging all of this DOGE stuff say, okay, fine. Well, then we want to depose her. Let's put her under oath. If she's the head, if that's what you're telling the court, if she's the head of DOGE, then let's put her under oath. Let's depose her. The regime doesn't want that, so they run straight to the Supreme Court. No. You got to stop this deposition because this would be a disaster for them. So we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not gonna make any predictions. I mean, if this were a healthy republic with a court that simply followed the law, I would make a prediction because absolutely Trump should lose this, and these records of DOGE should be made public, and this woman should have to be deposed. She's the supposedly administrator. She should be under oath talking about this, but who the hell knows? We already know right out of the gate that there's always at least 2 votes in Trump's favor, Thomas and Alito. So who the hell knows? Anyway, that's it. Greenland tells Trump to go F himself, and Trump loses in court and goes running to the Supreme Court to bail him out again. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon.